What do you think? What do you think, man?
Yeah. So tell me about what you think of consciousness.
Of consciousness? Oh, well, consciousness. Well, I don't think about consciousness. And to me, in the last year, I guess, or 6 months even, it's like I've started to remember the first time we met, and I said to me, it's like there's these sort of like waves and stuff, and it, and it's like horizontal. It's not that much vertical, and that everything is that kind of moving in this thing, you know. And like people have this idea that consciousness is this like pure space, you know, like it's always there. It's like the ether or air, you know, it's just always there. I don't go that way at all. Consciousness to me actually is not the same everywhere, and that there are spots where consciousness is very intense. That's where you want to go. To me, there's a little, you know, like the hot, the bead of water on a hot skillet that goes skidding around. To me, so that's a dance of Shiva to me. So in consciousness, you got to find where that dance is. That's where the agitation is. You don't make that go away. That's not being peace. Is to make. No, it's like you get so with that there's nothing else, and now there's no conflict. It's my thing on consciousness.
Okay. What do you think of God?
Stay tuned. I don't know. God is really, you know, like there's always something higher. Whatever you are in consciousness, there's always something higher, and so it's kind of a relative term, I think. You know, what this guy called is to God, to this guy is can't even begin. You know, so it's really just inspiration. But it's sattva. You know, it's pure, and so in a way, when you get into that, you're just living with the movement of consciousness. Then you're no longer dealing with thought, right? And so there's no such thing as impurity anymore. And so that's, you know, so God is really, actually, I once had this insight where it was about Krishna. I said, you know, Krishna is not somebody, it's a way of being. It's available to anybody. It's not somebody.
So Hindus have this expression. They call it bhava.
Power, okay.
Bhava.
Power, how do you spell it?
Bhava. B-H-A-V-A.
V, B or V?
B. B as in like boy.
H.
A.
B-H-A.
B-H-A. V as in Victor. A. Bhava.
Oh.
Bhava.
So it's B-V-H?
Yeah, that's fine. I will mail it to you.
Okay, so power anyway, so yeah.
Oh, it's bhava. So what it means actually is that Hindu tradition allows that. So say like I can have Krishna bhava. So Krishna bhava means that I inhibit, I exhibit, I imbibe emotions, feelings, thought that represent Krishna consciousness. So I can adopt Krishna consciousness. I can adopt, like, say, Rama consciousness, Buddha consciousness, Ramana consciousness. So Hindu tradition allows that.
So it's like a radio tuning into?
It's not radio tuning into, in the sense like you can do both, isn't it? So there is one way you see, like some people will say that Jesus comes to them. Okay. Some people will say that some kind of ghost or some kind of like demon comes to them, or even like some Holy Spirit comes to them.
Yeah.
And here, like in West, people might make fun of it. Hindu tradition actually has it inside. So people will dance, and they will dance like Nataraj, or they will dance like Shiva. So basically they are trying to, in that moment, it's like, say, you act in a movie and you are acting as, say, Mahatma Gandhi. So not only Mahatma Gandhi, but you are trying to understand what values Mahatma Gandhi represented, what was his thought, and what were the feeling and emotions that possibly drove that thought and that action. So you are trying to exhibit that. You are trying to have that inside. So same thing. So when you go dance, you are basically you are visualizing and you are kind of living how you think Shiva is, or how Krishna is, how Durga is. So
leave that behind. Or
living in the sense like
living that.
Yeah, you are living that. So in dance, people do that. So some like gurus or some like whatever you want to call them, enlightened spiritual people, they will basically pretend, or they will act, or they will invite. Say that I invite Krishna on me. So for that moment,
they'll what?
I invite Krishna inside me, or I invite Buddha inside me.
Mm-hmm.
So for that moment, for that time, I am Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
I am Tole. Mm-hmm. Of course, Krishna is an idea. Mm-hmm. Shiva is an idea. Mm-hmm. In the sense like I cannot see that I have seen Shiva. I have read about.
By the way, Shiva is my favorite god. Period.
Yeah. I mean, so anybody. Yeah. So I can pretty much nobody can claim that I have seen Shiva or I have seen Krishna. So what they are is an idea. And so what I am living or what I am getting inside me is the idea of Krishna that I have. But in those moments, I am living that idea. So that's what bhava is basically.
Mm-hmm. So that sounds pretty similar to what I was saying.
Yeah.
And it represents a sense of even privilege. That how dare you? In West, but no, why not? I mean, we should be comfortable like we are in our own home with what we call God, not like, woohoo, right? And these are familiar things. Why get complicated about it? And of course, we can wander into these little trails of truth and light.
Yeah. So, what do you think of enlightenment? And any answer is fine. I mean, there is no, in my opinion, there is no correct or incorrect. Or
no. I'm not hesitating for that reason. It's I tend to typically say, I think it's a bogus concept. When I was, but it's not. It's more complicated for me than that. It's like not complicated, more layered than that. It's when I was like about 19. I've never told you this story. I had this vision. To this day, I have the psychological content of that vision, or the experience of it, and it's like I'm in my room, and somehow I'm seeing it's like angling up for some reason, and it's like the idea of enlightenment was, well, that's not a question. I'm not even worried about that one. I'm concerned about leaving the breadcrumbs, So, but that was my invocation. Not, I want to live, man. I just know it was that this time I want to be able to communicate it. So, but what that really is, I think it's more about freedom, that you're no longer mired in, the trouble with consciousness, it has all these patterns, we get caught in the content. But the only thing, it's free of content. That's to me the only thing that's going on. There's nothing really to think about.
Okay. So what do you think, say, many humans complain of not being happy, not being fulfilled, not being content?
The first thing that comes to mind is that what I said about the Shiva consciousness. They're separated themselves from the dynamicism in themselves, not consciously. I mean, it's just buried like everything else, but they're separated from the vitality in their life. If like we like doing certain things, like if you have a project, sometimes you really enjoy it. It's because you're exercising your faculties. You're alive, and so when you're cut off from your own vitality, you're unhappy, and it's a symptom, not a problem. See, that's the thing. Unhappiness is not the problem. It's just a symptom.
So the term is quite a bit like duality or non-duality. So non-duality, duality. So before even we talk about non-duality, what do you think duality is?
Yes, I responded to somebody today on the list. I say talking about duality. So what duality are you talking about? What duality? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't. What duality?
So my like
I don't talk about non-duality either.
yes, yeah. So my like expression or my experience
Uh-huh.
or one of like my idea is that say so it's okay. Let me see this. So let's put it. Yeah. Okay. So my idea is that duality is basically a human creation. And human creation, I don't mean just like the word or name or the label duality. What I mean is, so basically before the human mind, so we share the mind that is shared by animals. You can call it reptilian brain, you can call it whatever. So other animals also have part of the brain. We have more evolved brain.
Mm-hmm.
We have more capacity. We have thinking.
And more kinds of,
Yeah.
of modules.
Yeah, and we have multiple level of thinking, multiple level of consciousness. So that is added. So if you step before human mind, and this is my perception, my imagination of
Mhm.
animal mind. Of course, I don't really know how it is to be like a dog, but this is what I think it is to be like dog. So like you are here, plants are here, the sky is here, space is here, air is here, flowers are here. I am talking, you are listening, you talk, I listen, and everything is one. Everything is what it is right now, what it is happening at this moment, and everything is part of this totality. Everything is part of this unity. You can call it unity, you can call it totality, you can call it now. But this is the only thing that is real. This is the only thing that really exists.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So this is the only thing that exists for the dog.
For the what?
For the dog. For a dog.
Oh, for a dog. Okay.
Or for anybody who is not in human brain. Who is before human brain.
Oh, okay. You're saying, okay, but not necessarily for humans, though.
Yeah, no. So this is now. This is what is real now. You might say something I do not like. And that dislike is happening right now. Or you might say something that I love. And that love, that admiration, that praise is happening right now. And all that is part of unity. All that is part of totality. All that is part of now.
Mm-hmm.
Now as a human, we have a second layer. And that second layer is, I can think, oh, I'm talking to Bill. Is it good for me?
No,
Okay.
you're saying that's duality.
That's duality. If I think, oh, am I really expressing right mode of consciousness? Am I really exhibiting love? Am I really exhibiting enlightenment? Am I like, in what state I am? Is it good for me? Is it bad for me? What it means for the future?
So you're already describing conflict inside intellect, and that it's not like dualities. It's not like reality that's dual.
No.
It's this weird little thought.
Right.
It I think maybe talked before. I said suffering is not pain. It's a thrashing process in the brain.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is basically, so this now is real, and this is real for the dog. This is real for the animal. This is real for us. What we have is a second layer. So we have another layer of samsara, other layer of reality that is inside our head.
But that what you call duality there is still just an aspect of non-duality.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. It's like I say that ocean is not calm. I can say that ocean has a lot of waves. Still is ocean. I mean, you can say that, okay, totality also includes what is going on inside my head, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can say that. So if you define totality that way, even that is part of totality. But that is where we humans experience the split.
I think that's a fair way of putting it, actually.
Yeah, that's my view. So when say somebody posted this quote, and according to that quote, Krishnamurti says that he is looking at the world from the back of his head.
Okay.
So I can envision myself that way. I can visualize that way. I can try to, or I can look from there. And when I'm looking from there, actually what I would call it is, I would call it dog consciousness. It's dog consciousness.
Dog, okay.
So basically, stepping before human mind. stepping to a place before the human mind, human thinking. And human thinking by I mean like judging, me versus the other, good or bad, judgment. Before that has arisen, that thinking, that perception, that's what I think Krishnamurti is referring to. That is unity consciousness, that is totality, that's now. And that's basically you are just looking, just perceiving. You are not trying to judge it, you are not trying to comment on everything, you are not trying to evaluate everything. Perception is pure.
Perception is what?
Pure.
Pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point is that duality itself is nothing experienced directly. You can't sense duality. It's just like we say, the concept of God is never explicit. It's always implicit, right? Duality is implicit. It's just an implicit way of describing how a system is functioning.
Yes.